Hey guys, what it is yo girl Cadillac. There's some Cadillac Dixon. I'm the drama life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice. Hoping, because you got to hold your breath for justice. To see justice before our face too bleak. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, guys, I'm coming through today, October the 2nd, 2025. It is international. I'm sorry, I had it different, but I think they probably changed the name. It was National Wrongful Conviction Day. But now they have it where when you look it up, it is International Wrongful Conviction Day. If you been on my channel, you already know what my channel is all about. It's all about wrongful convictions. It has been since I was on MySpace. It has been since I was on Facebook. It has been since I started my first YouTube channel when YouTube came out, and this second YouTube channel, like in 2013, that I've been on for 10 years. It's always been about wrongful convictions. It first started with the wrongful incarceration of my husband when I was 21 and his birthday had not come yet, so he was 20 when he was wrongfully convicted and sent away with no evidence, nobody hurt, nobody pow, no nothing. They charged him with a pow, though they could not find it, they allege. So he is charged with a hearsay weapon, and they threw him away and gave him 40 years. The judge said that was being lenient upon him because he really wanted to give him life, even though that is surpassing the sentencing structure that was back then, 10, 20 life. 10 years for even having a pow on your person when an alleged crime is committed. 20 years if you point the pow at anybody. And life if anybody is powed or deleted. Nobody was powed or deleted in the whole scenario of the alleged fabricated, made up ass story that got my husband in prison forever. Nobody was powed. It's made up. Nobody could be powed, right? So this is not the instance where a lot of wrongful convictions are where somebody is deleted and they just put the wrong person in prison for that deletion. In my husband's case, they made up a story. They made up a scenario to incarcerate him, but no evidence leads to their story even being able to hold water. It makes zero sense. So no one was hurt, powed, nothing in this story. But it took his life. So if you're going by sentencing, you lied and said he had a pow, right? And we can't dispute it because you took and destroyed the camera footage. You had the alleged victims change their sworn testimonies after you found out the truth. You did all of that, so we can't prove the weapon, but you're still going to charge him with it. You should have still charged him correctly, but instead you decided, oh, I don't care about the sentencing statutes. I'm going to sentence him to whatever the jail I feel like sentencing him to. And that is when you gave him 40 years and said, I'm being lenient because I want to give him life. But just so he has another chance at life when, how much more time he got? Hold on, girl. Give me a second to think. I do believe his release date is 2038. But that would be with gain time. 2038. So we are about 12 years from 2038. So the highest is about another 12 years. And the lowest, Florida is horrible on gain time. We have been advocating that they need to come off of that 85%. That is why Florida's facilities are to critical capacity, not even a place to house all the we don't call them inmates, but we call them incarcerated citizens. No place to house them all. You got too many people in there because you had bad laws that are now said to be unconstitutional, but you don't go back and retroact. They don't go back and make it right for anybody that's already under those bogus laws. And they don't set anybody free. You know, they just want to hold on to them. I do have a video where I liken DOC as a hoarder's house, a person that hoards. So, yeah. Ever since they wrongfully incarcerated my husband, I was like, whoa, hold on. This was a mistake. As soon as I'm able to break this story and bring it to the right people, they will set him free. That's pre-knowing how it really works. It was no mistake. If you want to call it a mistake, it's a purposeful mistake. Because I've covered over 32, and I'm going to get back on my game covering more and more and more because there's too many to cover. I have content for days. So they follow the same things that get you those bad results. And they do it on purpose. So I believe they're purposeful wrongful convictions, allegedly, my opinion. So I did make a mistake. I was posting saying this was his 23rd birthday he's spending behind bars wrongfully. But when I actually counted it out on my fingers, girl, I had to take it back to elementary. It's 24 years. 24 years wrongfully incarcerated that Marcello Jackson has done. Everyone forgot about him. The one person keeping that flame alive, keeping him on your mind, is your girl Cadillac. I have been talking about it, posting about it, doing all types of things to try to gain attention and still have not. So if you get wrongfully incarcerated or one of your loved ones get wrongfully incarcerated, know there is nowhere to go. There's no one to make it right. You will spend much of your life, means you're losing portions of your life because you're in the fight of your life trying to save your loved one, right? So today, on International Wrongful Conviction Day, we are going to imagine that it was actually us wrongfully incarcerated. We're taking the shackles off of Marcello. It's not Marcello Jackson. It's you on the other side of this screen. So let's imagine. Let's close our eyes for a moment. And actually, we could close our eyes for a moment and say a prayer for those that are wrongfully incarcerated and those that were wrongfully incarcerated and wrongfully deleted because they were on D-roll. Let's take a moment. Okay, you could take a few more moments if you need to. You could pause this video, but now we're in their shoes. See, the reason you don't care is because it's not you. It has not touched your household. It has to touch your household before you even react to it, right? It could very well easily. It's like a spin of the wheel. But it hasn't touched your household, so you don't think that it can happen to you. So let's imagine you're now Marcello Jackson. You're a big brother. You have a brother that is 4 years younger than you. You're parented by a single mother. You live in Charleston, South Carolina. You grow up 17 years old. You travel here to Florida. You love your grandmother. and your grandmother lives here in Florida, and your grandfather, but you just recently lost your grandfather. You live now in Orlando, Florida, right? And once you come here to Orlando, you kind of move house to house because you don't quite have your footing. You're 17 years old, right? You turn 18. In your late years of months of 18, you meet your girl Cadillac. You meet the love of your life. You're not looking for love. She wasn't looking for love, but you found this amazing connection. And you're so in love that it just literally burns. Like you're spending every waking moment with this woman and you're just so in love, right? You know that leads to, and you find out you're going to be a father. Your girl, she goes to the clinic because this was 2001. Actually, was it 2001? 2000. This was 2000. You go to the clinic with her. She gets the results and she has some news to tell you. You take one of your walks that y'all always take. Always take these walks around the park and around the neighborhood. And you take a walk and she tells you that she is pregnant. You drop down to your knees and almost in tears start rubbing her stomach and say, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a father. I'm going to be a father. You can barely contain yourself. And you said because you didn't have your father in your life, you were going to be the most magnificent father you could be. And you lived up to it. You were there for every doctor's appointment. When the doctor handed your girl the sonogram, you was like, excuse me, can I get one too? I'm the father. I'm sitting here. And you were into everything. You're the planning of everything. You were always there. When the baby was born, your daughter, you got a daughter. And you love this daughter so much. You used to hold your daughter so much, so tight that the mother couldn't even hardly get the child. And everything is just so perfect. You were young. You didn't do things quite in order. You and your girl, y'all finna get married. Y'all finna get up on y'all feet and raise your daughter. You're doing everything you can. You're paying her daycare. You're paying the baby formula. You're paying medical bills. Anything that comes up, you're actually paying those things, despite her mother thinking that you were just another random that was going to be a deadbeat dad. And you proved them wrong. You proved everyone wrong. You love your child more than anything. You love your child more than you love yourself. You spent the whole day with your girl. Y'all went to Port Orlando. Y'all went to the movies. Y'all walked around. Y'all were so in love. You, your girl, and your baby. Your girl used to do hair, so she had to go make extra money because we all trying to basically get back on track and get our footing in life, right? So you tell her, I'm going to call you when I get back home, you go downtown, you're gonna stay with your cousin because you're from your cousin's house to your grandmother's house. So you kind of just crash where you can crash, right? But you're gonna get it together. You're gonna get your own. You're gonna work hard. And all of this is just a hiccup in the road. Well, you were never able to call your girl back. And once you do, you're frantic. This red band on my arm. This red band on my arm. Your girl is like, what red band? What are you talking about? Are you in the hospital? Are you this red band on my arm? What does the red band say? It says life or DEATH. What? And in a world when your whole world starting to crumble before you. You're 19 years old. You took a ride with your older cousin that you trust. You got in the car with your cousin. That's your family. Soon as you get in the car, your cousin that just got released on bond, the police try to pull him over because he pulled over to pick you up, asked you, did you need a ride home? You were headed to your cousin's house. Why not? He pulled too close to the stop sign that he actually passed the stop sign, so they considered that rolling the stop sign. So your cousin, you think your cousin about to pull over. Like, who don't pull over when the police get behind them? Instead, your cousin zooms off on a freaking high-speed chase. What the heck are you doing, bro? Pull over. What are you doing? I just got in the freaking car. Your cousin speeding around corners, and he stops the car in a dead-end cul-de-sac, pulls the door open, jumps out, and runs. You can't believe that this is even happening. You're in the passenger seat. You have his friends that were in the car, and your cousin gone. It's nothing but you three in the car. What the jail is going on? The officers have their pow-pows on you. Come out the car. Get out the car. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. No, don't move. You walk towards the officer. You got your hands up. You walking towards the officer. This is 2001, not 2005 when they would have pow-powed you. This was back then when they wasn't doing it so much like that. So grace of God, you did get arrested instead of pow-powed on that ground. The officer says, come to me and sit on the ground right there. You listen to it and you're trying your best to explain, I don't know what's happening. I just literally came from the 7-Eleven and my cousin drove by and asked me, did I want a ride? I got a ride. I should have just freaking walked. What in the world is going on? Your cousin ran off and left you there. Now, your cousin is YT. When y'all grew up, y'all always called him YT boy. Though he was BLK, his passengers were YT as well. So the ratio, you the only BLK male in the car. The officers quickly, the guys, they quickly come up with, we were being robbed. We were being robbed. So that they could cover their tails. because they too were in a car that was evading police. And rather than the police arresting the 3 passengers in the car, taking them down to the station, finding out what happened. Did he really get in right there at 7-Eleven? We could have proved this. We could have just pulled the 7-Eleven surveillance cameras. But I think you did pull them. And you've seen that he did just come from 7-Eleven. So you deleted that so that he could not have an alibi. You let the 2 YT passengers go. The YT driver, that is your cousin, runs, and they say they couldn't catch him. I don't know what type of track star he was, but he ran and got away from helicopters in the sky, from dogs on the street, from patrol chasing him. He got away. He did. I'm going to let you, I'm sorry, I'm going to break my narration for a minute. He didn't get away. He didn't get away. He was arrested. They let him go. Just as they let all 3. They let the other 2 YT guys go. They let him go as well. So now you're thinking about my girl. We finna get married. I got a brand new baby, 2 months old. I can't do this. What is going on? You say you got to take it to trial. You got to take it to trial. Your public pretender is doing nothing to try to, it was so much evidence that you were giving him so many different alibis to talk to. Why don't you pull the cameras? Can you do this? Can you do that? And your lawyer saying, no, we can't do nothing for you. No, ain't got no money. No, ain't got no, but the lawyer somehow came up with money to get the 2 guys that were in the passenger seat with you. They moved to Vermont from Florida. And they did not answer not 1, 2, or 3 subpoenas to come to court. Why? Because they did not want to come to court, because they knew it was a lie from the pits of jail. So they thought they could run away and just stay away long enough for trial to pass. Trial passes. They think they're in the clear. But no. Your public defender asked the judge, can you please wait before you let my client go? Because there's nobody to press the charges against him. Can you please grant me money so that I can go out of town to Vermont and I can subpoena in person the 2 guys that don't want nothing to do with this right at their door? That's actually forcing them to come back. We don't know what else he did besides present these subpoenas. There could have been a lot more taking place, forcing these 2 back to Florida to lie on the witness stand. This is why every single part, they conflict. Their story, they could not get their stories together. So not only do you have 2 conflicting alleged victim stories, you got 3 conflicting officer stories. So every time you meet with your public defender, every single time, oh, wait, hold on. You had a public defender. But the public defender sent you a notice saying that he could not. The public defender's office cannot represent you because your cousin is their client already. And the public defender office says that I can't defend both sides of the case because you're going to say that your cousin did it. Your cousin, the driver, is putting this all off on you. So instead, the public defender office dropped you. And that's when they had to get a special lawyer. This lawyer says he's a crime specialist. That's when they bring in a private paid lawyer. How did you luck up grace of God upon you to get a private paid lawyer? He has more resources than the public defender's office. He surely can pull these surveillance cameras at that club and prove I'm not even there. Look, pull 7-Eleven surveillance. I'm right there. I just purchased this. I walked out. You could see the direction I walked in. I just got in the car with my cousin. How could I have been at that club? I wasn't even there. And that paid lawyer, he tells you this story about how it was this guy, he had blood here, blood everywhere, and he was able to get him off, and you're putting your faith into it. You know you don't have the resources for a paid lawyer. You had to drop your paid lawyer because you and your girl could only get up enough to get your bond that was so beautiful. You were able to see your 2-month-old until she was 9 months old. You were able to babysit her. You were able to comb her hair. You was able to feed her, touch her, hold her for 7 months. But you no longer had any money to pay into this system. You lost your job because you were wrongfully incarcerated and wrongfully arrested at that time. You lost your job. You're looking for jobs. You finally find work with your girl's father doing construction. You're still trying to get up on your feet. You take a GED classes. You're going to finish school, and you're just so hopeful. And every time you go to that crime specialist, all he asks you is are you gonna take the plea? This 17-year plea? And in your mind, you're like, hold on. I'm 19 years old. I just had a daughter that is 2-3 months old at this time. And you're asking me if I'm going to take 17 years, which is almost as long as I've been on this earth. You realize my daughter's going to be grown when I'm released. Yes, but I'm sorry. They have the victim/eyewitnesses that are going to lie on the stand, and they're going to point you out and say, you did it. You did it. An eyewitness is better than anything, even though, breaking narration again, eyewitness misidentification and prosecutorial misconduct are the two biggest reasons for wrongful convictions. But they tell you we have the victim/witnesses. What about all your witnesses you turned in? Why aren't they calling any of these people to get sworn affidavits? Why didn't they ask your wife to give a sworn affidavit? Because she was with you the whole day. And, oh God. And all he says is, are you going to take the 17 years? And you're like, no, I can't take no 17 years for something I didn't do. 17 years? Are you kidding me? Your crime specialist lawyer says, listen. Pretend I was your doctor. And now YouTube is so crazy. Social media is so crazy. You can't say word for word what he said. He said, pretend you had CANCR. I'm going to call it the big C. Pretend you had the big C in your arm, and I was your doctor. And if I didn't advise you that you need to cut off your arm so that the big C doesn't spread, and you were deleted as a result of it, would I be a good doctor? And you're like, no. He said, look, you got about a 5% chance of winning. They have eyewitnesses, which is the alleged victim / witnesses that they forced to come back to Florida. And then on trial, they conflicted one another on every single issue. And they added in more stuff once trial came. If you look at their sworn affidavits that they already amended because the officers gave them back and told them to scratch it out and write in what he's telling them to write in. So even though that is what it is there, by the time it went to trial, they had put so much more in there. I'm surprised he didn't get attempted murder, honestly, as much as they concocted and built this nothingness up to be. So he says you have about a 5% chance of winning. Are you gonna take the plea? You're like, I can't take 17 years for something I did not do. Your crime specialist says, all right, well then kiss your daughter goodbye. That was your last conversation before saying you were going to go to trial. You're putting everything in this justice system. You believe in the justice system. You're innocent till they prove me guilty. They don't have no evidence on me. I'm innocent. I'm going to be found innocent. They don't have anything on me. I didn't do anything. Gavel hits the desk. Boom. 40 years. You're like, what? What is it? What? Can I just hug my girl before? No, you're going with us. And they putting your hands behind your back. Just come on. And that's the last time you seen your girl. And before trial was the last time you seen your daughter. The next time you would see your daughter would be through a several-inch thick glass, where you would place your hand up to the glass, and your baby put her hand on the other side, and you like, my baby's right there, but I can't touch her, I can't feel her, I can't nothing. And she's jumping at you. She's jumping at you. She used to jump at you and just nuzzle you and hug you and kiss you. And she can't even touch you now. She can't even touch you. You don't give up. You know they did you wrong. You know they did you wrong. You know that lawyer ain't trying nothing to fight for you. You know he the reason why you in there in the first place. All you got to do is come back on an appeal. I'm going to get an appeal. They deny your appeal. They give you a appeal public defender. Your girl drives down there to Daytona Beach to meet with him. And he tells her, I can't do nothing for him. Ain't nothing I can do. Only thing I can do, and only thing that he did do, was give her the transcript to the trial and allowed her to go copy it at the Kinko's. We don't even have Kinko's no more. It's FedEx office, but back then it was Kinko's. And get a copy of the transcript to send to you, and you study your own case. So you weren't granted appeal because nobody fought at all for you. Nobody fought the first time, and they sure as jail wasn't going to fight that second time. appeal denied. That's okay. I could do 3.850. I could do this. You try everything that you can do, and they just bat it down. They bat it down. And it's years passing now. You're 2 to 3 years down the line. Your daughter's 3 years old now. You missed her first step. You missed her first word. You missed her first day of kindergarten. You miss all these things. You plan this with your girl. You planned this. And now you can't see it. All you can see it is through past tense, through a photo. And you can only get 5 photos in each envelope. Your daughter getting so big. She getting so big. But you remember what that lawyer said, that, oh, don't worry, he'll only do about 10 years. So 10 years later, y'all seeking him back out. What happened to 10 years? What happened to 10 years? 11 years later, your daughter's a preteen. And like, what happened, man? What happened? 40 means 40. No 10. Yes, you had a minimum mandatory of 10, but the judge can go anywhere from 10 to whatever. Judge was only supposed to sentence you to 10 years wrongfully, but he sentenced you to 40. You use all your lifelines. You miss your daughter's first step, first word, kindergarten graduation, high school graduation. She's going to prom now. And how you spoke to her prom date. Because, you already said you was going to grill that dude. You said you was going to grill that dude. You had to do it over a collect call. This is a collect call from miss her high school graduation. She's so big. How did I miss the whole thing? Why didn't this ever turn around? This never turned around. It never worked out. You missed the high school graduation. You missed her college graduation. College, how did I miss college? I still had a chance. It was 2020. My girl had a petition out that people was actually signing and this and that, and we thought it was going to happen then, and nothing. You missed the birth of your granddaughter in 2022. You were going to be there so happy. You wanted 5 kids. You wanted a big, happy family. You could never get out to have the rest of your family because y'all just started, you and your girl just started your family. But now you got a granddaughter. And you visit her twice in prison. This is when they ban your wife from coming to visit you. Because they set her up when she came to visit you. So the one person that was there holding you down, they took her out your life. But your daughter's old enough now to go visit on her own. She's grown. And she has your little granddaughter in her arms. And you look down and you have this little life in your arms. And you look and she looks like your daughter. It feels like you're getting a second chance. A second chance to be a part of all the moments they took from you. They took all these moments from you. You look down at her. She's so beautiful. But because at this time in your life, you're 7 hours away from home, they can't visit you like that all the time. So you visit twice when your granddaughter was a very little baby. You finally get a good adjustment transfer to transfer back to Orlando. your first time being back in your hometown.